Going live. Yo, what's up, guys? Episode 52 at TGW, Tech Gaming Weekly. There's Computex this week going on. Lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
Zen, Polaris, many good things.
Much goodness in the last few days. Much goodness.
Yeah, what was
So,
what was the best thing you saw coming out of Computex that excited you the most so far?
I've got to say, this time around, I saw the 480 and I was really excited. and it's funny because it's a different reason to probably what everyone else would be thinking.
Is it? But weren't we like this whole time, like for the weeks leading up to this, when we were talking about, you're like, oh, it's fucking poo. I don't know why AMD's doing this.
No. Like $200, man, is huge news. Like that's going to be a big implication for drumroll. used parts, man. Like you're probably going to see like $100 780 Ti's and like, $80 7950s and whatnot. Like it's gonna be awesome for the used parts section now as well. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Just being honest, I was like, this graphics card's gonna be amazing. And of course, you're gonna be able to now have budget 1440p gaming from that card. So I liked it how this time around they realized what Nvidia was doing, and they're saying, okay, we can hit this mark, this niche, right? Something that Nvidia's not hitting yet. We can capture that market. So rather than go head to head, which they will, I think, later in the year, they're saying, no, we're going to go with this market because we haven't got the yields up on the Polaris 11 yet. So interesting. Very interesting to move by them. I got to say, I like it so far. I mean, I'm going to see how it plays out. The card does look decent for it. Even the stock does look decent for $200, So
Yeah,
I think they.
So that was your best takeaway, was the Polaris then?
Yeah, for me, that was the best takeaway. I actually was impressed by it. And it was probably for different reasons, like I said.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I mean, I enjoyed seeing some of the custom boards on the 1080, but AMD, just them showing off AMD Zen, that was pretty exciting. Just because it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like,
did it?
it was at the tail end. They did like the typical apical. Did I just say apical?
Yeah, you said apical. Yeah,
Apical. They did the apical thing. The Apple
what,
thing where they said
what is the apical thing?
the apical thing is when you say there's just one more thing. That's the Steve Jobs line. So they tried to pull the Steve Jobs there with Zen. It's like, all right, AMD.
Are you saying
TG?
applicable?
No, I was trying to say Apple thing, and I don't know why.
Okay. The actual Apple, the company. Okay.
Yeah, Apple. Yeah, Apple.
Applicable. I'm like, dude, what? This vocab.
Not applicable. No.
Yeah. This
Hey, oh yeah, and just so you know, yeah, we were having some trouble for it's in the subscription feeds now.
Okay,
I
yeah,
refreshed it, so
people would tell people. Well, that's what I mean. People were telling me like, dude, I can't find the live stream. And I was like, I can't find the live stream either.
Well, usually when I schedule it like a half hour before we're going to go live, it goes out into people's sub boxes saying, there's going to be a show in 30 minutes with a countdown. But it just didn't do that this week. It didn't put it out there until after we actually launched. So hopefully they don't continue to do that, because we like to get, I like to get the chat in here warmed up, so we got a decent amount of people talking before the show starts.
Yeah,
That's why I schedule it early.
That's it. I mean, people like to speculate and stuff like that, so get them in.
Yeah. Did you get any new tech pickups this week? I got quite a few.
I got a rad come in. Look at this. This thing's going in for nefarious purposes for one of my upcoming builds.
Is that a different build, or are you going to? Is that a third part to the custom loop?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do, like, people said, man, some people like I can't wait for the new loop. Some people like, well, you should change out parts and see what it was. But it's obvious that it was, a combination of the blocks and the pump, right? The blocks were terrible. I already know that. So I'm gonna do a whole new loop, and this time around we'll see how it goes. Just keep hitting price points until we get it right. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're doing $120 this time. Fail. All right, we'll step it up. So, and I'll sell the Rotten Tomato. I'll just sell that, and recoup some of the costs. I wonder if anyone wants to buy it. That's what I'm curious. Will someone buy the Rotten Tomato?
I don't know. I think someone will. One of your subs up here would take it off your hands.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got offers from subs. It's just like I can't. Like, international post is brutal, man. So I'm doing it for the giveaway because it's a one-off. That's a 100K sub. Thank you. Actually, we've got to talk about the giveaway because a lot of people start. When are they drawing? We're drawing it next week.
Yeah, next week. Next week is this is episode 52, but next week is the 1 year anniversary from when we actually started it, because you got 52 episodes, and then it's actually the 1 year.
Yeah, so it's like because we started the one and we finished with the one. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that's why. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's on June 8th or June 10th, and then like our anniversary of when we actually started was like the 8th or the 10th. It was like it's like a 2-day separation, but it's pretty close. So yeah, we still got the giveaway going on. Link is down below for that. We're giving away the AMD build, $500 Steam gift card, and Brian's got a Xeon, right? Xeon build or
Yeah, man, they got the
Xeon with the
X58,
7970.
X58 build with the 7970. It's a beast, man. People are like, "Damn, man, my like $800 computer doesn't perform like that," and I'm like, "That's used price performance, baby." So, that's where it's at.
Yeah, so we still got that giveaway. If you haven't signed up yet, just check for the Gleam link right in this description. For my tech pickups, I got quite a few things. So I got the 1080, obviously. Got that
I
guy.
was
Everybody knows about
jealous of one of those pickups you got. That 60. You said you got the 6800K, yeah?
Yeah, I got the 1080 though. My 980 Ti is sitting right here though in the clamshell. There it is. Ooh, just sitting around, hanging out.
Just hanging about.
I like having it close by like that. Yeah, I got the 6800K though. There's the box.
Yeah,
There's the
I'm
CPU.
actually. I really want to get a hold of that. Hey, it's got some interesting figures there when I look at the single thread. Like especially when I looked at Paul's review, that was interesting on some of those single threaded Cinebench R15 scores. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
So, people in the chat are like, they want a Dord TZ.
I want to do a TV. Maybe he'll stop by again today.
Yeah, maybe I'll stop by in the comments. But we'll get him on. Like, I mean, we'll get him on in one of these upcoming weeks. Don't worry, guys. Be patient.
Yeah, we will get him on.
Yeah.
It will happen. We're just waiting for him to get his mic. He just ordered headphones and a mic, I think, and he's waiting for them to come. And he's been on holiday, so.
Yep.
Yep, he's been working kind of away from home. And oh yeah, last tech pickup I got was for the upcoming build, because I'm doing a whole new build in the next week or so. So I got the Predator 240, so I got my own radiator of sorts, which is like, this is like the best built water cooler I've ever seen in my life. I was telling Brian last night. I like took this thing out of the box, and like the industrial build and feeling of this thing is just serious quality. It's like it was $200 for an all-in-one water cooler, but it feels like $200 well spent because of how just like substantial it feels when you hold it in your hands. It's fucking nice.
Well, it's got water in it, yeah? So it's going to weigh it down a bit more.
No, not just the weight. I'm just saying like just the build quality and the feel of like the hoses and the fittings and everything. All of it feels quality.
Yeah, you're telling me that
Very nice.
they're using like engine hose on that thing. That's great. I love it. So that's what you got to use.
It is like engine hose. They sell it on their website. I was like, man, if I ever did like my own custom loop build or whatever, I would probably just use that stuff. Oh, there he is with his Intel lighter.
This thing, I love this thing. Hey,
Brian, do you know where I got this 6800K from?
Micro Center.
No, I actually found it in an old backpack.
Oh, you found it in a backpack?
Yeah, don't you find CPUs in backpacks all the time?
I don't know. I couldn't be the one to tell you.
I'm just fucking with you.
No, you're trolling, man.
I'm giving him a troll. He's gonna get me back later with a Dizzle comment of some sort.
No. I'm gonna say trolls usually have bad teeth.
Where's Jar Jar? Oh snap! You talking about my teeth, bro?
I saw him on one of the videos. I'm like, dude, you gotta head to the dentist.
Damn. Oh shit, he's getting hard. I guess I did have some bad. I did have my teeth were bad. That was like it must have been an older video because I've been taking care of it.
Yeah, you've been roasting me the last day. Like last day, I've been copping a few. Come on.
He's Brian's getting personal now. He's talking about physical appearance. That's okay. I could take that.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about trolls having bad teeth. That's all.
That's all. He's trying to say my teeth are nasty. That's what he's trying to say. So you got anything else personal news wise you want to add besides whatever?
You got the radiator, got the taser in. The CPU taser. Yeah, it's a CPU taser.
Did you do any damage to that processor? Was that
yeah,
processor
like it's
burnt out?
Yeah, it was already dead, so I just smoked it up. That's all.
Yeah.
Like got a bit of a cleanse from fire.
Yep.
Soul was cleansed. But other than that, no, like it hasn't been. I've just been trying to get builds done, man. Like I've actually got 3, so I've got the giveaway ready. I got the giveaway done, and I've got these other 2 builds that I'm gonna sell. And I was gonna make a vlog on just flipping and stuff because people love like behind the scenes stuff. So, we're we're already this deep, right? I've already showed everyone where I get the parts from and whatnot. Why as well just show them how I flip it too, you know?
Yeah, I forgot to mention my headphones too. I'm rocking those the Fostex T50 RPs. These things are so nice.
Yeah, I
Like,
was saying they look awesome. Hey, like
dude,
they look pretty sweet.
these are the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn in my life. These things are like just nice. They're like the EK border block. It's just quality. They're the so these are from Mayflower. This is like a prototype pair. They're not finished yet. But these are modded. They have like special like nicer like leather ear cups on these, and they put those on themselves, and they do like modifications on the inside of the drivers and shit.
Yeah.
So it makes them sound different, gives them different sound signatures. These ones are like more of a bass heavy one, but I just love the just like the leather ear cups are so comfy. Memory foam, it's good stuff.
Well, yeah. When are you doing a review on that?
Well, once they finalize it, right now I'm just testing it out for them, giving them my feedback.
Okay. Sweet. Well, yeah. What's
So yeah, before first topic, we actually have a sponsor this week, Slant.co, and yes, I said slant, not slunt. Get your minds out of the gutter. That's what I thought too when I first saw it. But no, so I'll just bring Brian up to speed on it right before the show though. Slant.co.
Yeah.
So this is a crowdfunded like review site essentially where you can go on there, you could search. So I was actually pretty impressed by this because when I first went on there, I just started typing Logitech, and
Yeah.
the first recommended search was what is the best gaming mouse, which was actually like exactly what I was thinking of, and then it brought up this page right here, and you can see it's got like the Logitech G502 there, and you can open it up, and then it's got pros and cons. Now the pros and cons are all submitted by people on the website, and then they get upvoted or downvoted accordingly. And like a lot of this stuff, like that people put on here is like subjective things, so that's why it's kind of important to have people upvoting and stuff like that. So if someone puts something up that people don't agree with, then it gets downvoted.
That's true. That's pretty good, eh? What are the best MOBA games for PC?
Yep, and they got all the specs here listed for the product and everything. And this is I think it's good to have this. It's like a Wikipedia of reviews from users.
Heroes of New Earth. I'm a thumbs up that, man. That's so cool. Yeah, Heroes of New Earth. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So they sponsored out this episode. Thank you much to Slant.co. Check out a link to their website in the description below if you guys want to check out some mouse reviews and other things. They got everything. It's like they got loads of like electronics. They got games, PC hardware, and stuff like that. I like the PC hardware section of the most. Obviously.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It looks like a great website for discussion. So like especially if you've got time to burn, and you want to get into some new topics that you're probably not aware of, then this MOBA thread, man, I could probably be here for a couple of hours, eh? But because
clever.
it's really cool. So
yeah, it's clever. Oh, and so yeah, we're about to go into the first topic. Thank you though, Drake. Drake mentioned you went over 120,000. I'm over 60,000. I hit 63,000 today actually. So yeah, congrats.
Yeah,
to
thanks
both of
guys.
us.
Thanks for subscribing. It's really awesome lately. Both our channels have been gaining a lot of traction, and with that, those straight, cut straight down the line opinions, reviews, they're all just going to keep coming. No holds barred. So that's the good thing about it.
Yeah, that's allowed you to get. You've also been getting familiar with the trolls, I guess, too. Also because of that.
Oh yeah. Had one guy that took a real low blow, so I've reported him to Google. And yeah, like I want to actually report him to his local authority because what he said was disgusting. Like I've never seen it in the history of YouTube, never heard of someone say that before. So
I think it's unfortunate. I think it's to be expected at this stage, like when you start growing. But it's a shame though that it is expected.
But down under, man. Like I don't know about the States, man, but in Australia, you do that to a man, and if you do it to his face, whoa, you're gonna have something.
You're not gonna have much of a face afterwards.
You're gonna see a side that you've never seen before to anyone, even the most peaceful man you've ever met.
You're gonna be able to tell all your mates what Australian concrete tastes like.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. He's like whoever it was, they're hiding behind a keyboard. So it's like okay.
All right, so AMD, we're 15 minutes in here, man. I'm sure people want to hear about Zen now. So AMD Zen, that's the first topic we have up that was at Computex. So they just kind of teased it. We didn't really get a ton of new information about it. We know what they're targeting with it. Yeah. And it has AMD printed on the back of the CPU in really big letters, which I actually really like. Even though you'd never get to see it, I really like that being printed on there like that. That's hot.
That's pretty cool. I mean, one thing we did, I mean, we got a lot more news about Polaris than we did about Zen, I think. Like, Zen was pretty much just someone, you know, the CEO was, not sorry, not someone,
Lisa
CEO.
Sue.
Yeah, Lisa Sue holding the CPU. And she, you know, the way she held it indicated that it's LGA, right? It's not PGA anymore. So that's great that they're going with LGA. Allows them to pack more pins on there. So that's a really good design. They're going with the proper design now for the new age. And yeah, it looks good. 8 cores, 16 threads. And with 40% IPC improvement, this thing could be, you know, a legit contender now. That's what everyone's hoping for. It's just as long as it doesn't have to, like, that's what I said before, it doesn't have to beat Intel, it doesn't have to like better their IPC, but it just has to come in that same ballpark. And I think people will go crazy for it. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I was asking you earlier. Like the eight core. Like, how much do you see that selling for, and then where do you see it falling in line with performance compared to Intel chips?
I mean, that's hard to say, right? Could you? I mean, if
It is hard to say.
wild speculation, I'd say they'd be throwing that thing out there at maybe $500, 600.
Think so? Some people were saying 500 in my comments earlier.
Yeah, like that would just be wild speculation, man. I mean, I would have like I don't know what they're gonna do, right? This is the thing, right? They're doing 95 watts, 8 core, 16 threads, 95 TDP. Like, you know, there was rumors of them putting 2 4 cores and bridging them together, kind of thing, with a link. And that's. I mean, there's not enough details still. They just showed it, so not enough true sort of information out there at the moment. We will, though, in the coming months, we will find out a lot more about this CPU. But in the meantime, it's like, okay, we've got something to look forward to. It does look pretty promising, especially for desktop enthusiasts, the people who like to get the CPU and the GPU and play it, you know, put them together for gaming. This is going to be one of those CPUs targeted towards that market, which I'm really happy about. That's the first thing I'm say.
I think this is going to be like definitely the most exciting CPU coming out this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had, you know, Broadwell-E launch, which we're going to talk about later, but I don't really think that's, I mean, besides the 10, people talking about the 10 core, which, you know, like nobody can afford on the planet. So, like, why even fucking bother? So,
Well, see, I was actually, it's funny. I was talking to my brother about this last night, and I think he hit the nail on the head. They're just testing the waters, man. We'll talk about that later, though.
yeah, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, we'll talk about it later with the pricing on the Broadwell-E,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of interesting things with the pricing with that whole lineup there. But Zen is coming, hopefully, I guess, like by the end of the year. It'd be nice. I want to do a build with Zen and dual Polaris cards, which is our next topic, and we'll get into that whole, you know, thing about we're talking about the dual Polaris cards running against the Zany. We'll get into that in a minute.
But also, we'll quickly cover the last points. It'll be a whole new socket, AM4. So they're going with a whole new socket. Support DDR4 as well. And it'll come out later this year sometime. We didn't get a release date, did we?
No,
so
not yet.
We didn't get a release date yet. So
I think it'll be around the same time as Vega.
Yeah, so it remains to be seen what other SKUs they're providing as well. Will they provide a 6-core, 4-core? I assume so. But they're showing off that's the flagship, I'm guessing, for the consumer market on the AM4 platform there. So that's what we have to go by now. So, and yeah, 40% IPC improvement is a big gain. Like, even if it's over Bulldozer, I mean, it's still pretty big. So,
yeah, it took them a long time to get there, though.
It did take them a long time to get there, but they've been in a lot of financial stress, man. Anyone, you know, who hasn't been living under a rock knows that. So
True.
So if they can pull it off, I'll give them respect, you know, and I'll definitely go out and buy a motherboard CPU combo, you know. So
yeah,
I think
we'll be getting the AM4 boards a little bit sooner with the APUs and everything. So
yeah. Well, I think one thing that we're all starting to realize is we do need competition, man. We do need it. Like,
absolutely.
wow, you know. Anyway.
Well, yeah, and I think they're going after a smart price point. I think on their stuff, you know, the price of performance.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
that was always AMD's kind of traditional route, and it seems like the last couple go arounds where they've launched like the 300 series and the 200 series, they really tried to go head to head with Nvidia there, and they just got stomped. So it seems like they're kind of going back to where they were at back around like when the 7970 was out, coming in that price to performance and just beating Nvidia there. Just like, we can we'll be able to overclock better, we'll be able to be cheaper, and you know, be affordable. I think that's where they're going there.
Well, I mean, they know there's a market at $200. They know that there's a lot of people out there who will just be like, okay, I like PC gaming, but it's not like the be-all and end-all for me. They know there's a market out there like that. And they're like, okay, well, Korean 1440p monitors are cheap. You get one of those for what? You can get them for like 250 now, I think. You
Yeah,
get one of
yeah.
those, one of these
1440
graphics
is
cards.
affordable. Yeah.
Yeah, you get one of those, get one of these graphics cards. That's like $450, and you're gaming. You've got a really good gaming experience, like coupled with the rest of your rig. But I mean, if you've got a rig that you just want to upgrade with those
But
two things,
yeah,
you're on a 1080 monitor.
I would
That,
definitely want to. I would definitely want to pair this up with an affordable CPU and do like, I don't know, like a sub $800 build that can do 1440p. Like
yeah.
I mean, you could build a monster of a rig with this for around $800 with a 1440 monitor.
Well, that's the real exciting thing about this is that it's giving all of us more options now. So this is the next year in PC gaming is going to be freaking awesome because you're going to have a lot of different options now. You're going to have a low hard hitting card. You're going to have a different CPU, different motherboards to choose from. It's going to be exciting again. That's why I'm really anticipating this.
So tell me what you think about the specs that we got in the 480. They were talking about more than 5 teraflops of compute performance. Now we don't know where that's actually going to end up lying. Especially, well, we got rumors on the core clock from Tech Power Up being at 1266 megahertz. This came out just before the show, so just over 1.2 gigahertz on the memory, and then 8 gigahertz. I'm sorry, just over 1.2 on the core, and then 2 gigahertz on the 8 gigahertz on the memory. God, I'm getting all these numbers mixed up.
Yeah, so it looks like they're pushing GDR5 to its max now, 8 gigahertz. They like literally pushing that thing flat out. So because they're doing that on the 1070, they're also doing that on the RX 480. Now the core clocks are 1266, so you can see that they probably couldn't get those yields on the bigger die. So that's why they're going with this as well. That's another reason. How high this can actually clock remains to be seen. I mean, maybe we could get 1.4 gigahertz overclocks, 1.5 even. Hoping like on air. But it looks like it's 1266 out of the box, which is pretty good. It's good. It's not the best, but it's not the worst.
I do like the cooler as well.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. For a $200 card, it looks pretty good. I gotta say, it looks clean. Like it looks clean.
Looks premium. They were talking about it being like a premium build quality and stuff like that. It is. I really like the look of like the Nano and those other cards. I don't know how good the air cooling is going to be on this, but I like the look of that card. That would be a good looking thing.
Probably be noisy as hell when vacuum cleaner, but probably be
probably
cleaner.
will be, knowing AMD's stock coolers. They've never been amazing.
Yeah.
The Nano suffered from thermal throttling, so yeah, there's that we have to look forward to.
But other than that, like I tip my hat off. I think this is a great move by them to do this because it looks like we're going to get a little bit better than R9 390 performance for $200.
Yeah, and it's on GCN4, which it's going to have some improvements there for like async compute and DX12. But other than that, there's really not any what I would say massive architectural changes. A lot of the improvements we're going to see there is from the node shrink and the higher clock speeds that we're getting as a result of it, and then the performance per watt we're going to see.
But then, with that said, right, if they're not making any big architectural changes, then one thing that does concern me is that 256-bit memory bus there. That does concern me a little bit.
Well, it's essentially it's essentially coming across with the same memory throughput as the GTX 1070. 256 gigabytes.
But they're utilizing different memory compression, man. It's completely different with a different architecture. So, I mean, look, they are pushing much higher memory speeds as opposed to an R9 390, but again, how that plays out in the real world is different to just seeing it on spec papers, so in this actual specification on memory and stuff like that. So just how will it cause stuttering? Sure, the FPS might be like this and that. Yeah,
and they're talking about this is going to also have an 8 gigabyte model as well. They're doing a 4 gigabyte and an 8 gigabyte model. I don't know why they just didn't go straight up 8 gigabytes.
It's expensive. It's expensive.
I guess they're gonna have to charge more. But I would be concerned about, the 8 gigabyte card and how it would perform. Even if it's going to be limited by that memory bus there. It's like, would it even be able to use the full 8 gigabytes at any one time?
I don't know. No one knows. I don't know how this is going to perform in the real world with that memory. That's what I was saying. The memory bus, a little bit of concern there. That's all. If it's using the exact same, not exactly the same, but only a slightly tweaked architecture from GCN. So.
Yeah. It seems like they kind of almost have done something very similar to compared to NVIDIA almost, where Pascal is really just a ramped up Maxwell, and they've done this like with Polaris 10 as like a ramped up Hawaii on a smaller node shrink.
Yeah, well, I mean, they actually, so like we're talking about, with Pascal. Apparently, they dropped the IPC a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that here. I don't think they're going to lose IPC on this card. We'll see. I don't think they will, though. I think Nvidia did that. Nvidia did a little bit worse than them on that in that regard.
Weird to kind of call it IPC though. I guess that's just the easier way to understand it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Anyway,
pretty much
so,
for us nerds, that's the easiest way to understand it.
Yeah.
So you want to take it with the next one, the 1070s?
Oh, you're pulling up the 1070 again. So yeah, I gotta say straight away, we should have had him on this week. He's Hardware Unboxed. You gotta email me, dude. We want you on the show.
Yeah, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him on the show one week. He got his numbers up on the 1070. I'll let you take this one because
I mean I gotta say this was the best review I've seen yet for GTX benchmarks. Like it was so thorough. It was so comprehensive. I was just like, yeah, this is really good. Talked about the downs and the ups every game. Went through every game. What happened. And it showed in the end that the GTX 1080 was in a different league, and that's what I was trying to say. But I mean, I don't want to go on about it because I'm done and dusted with that. You know what I mean? I'm just going to buy the cards myself now and test them when I come to America. So I'm just going to test them, do my own benchmarks, apples to apples. Though I will say I'd like to see maximums because maximums. There's
I don't really like maximums.
Yeah, no one that's the thing. No one really likes them, but they're very important. They are very important. You know why?
Why?
To distinguish whether there's a CPU overhead in the game. And if that's affecting your actual benchmarks on a graphics card review, then you've got to mention that. You see what I mean? So that's why
I don't want to see her nitpick his review style. Just like, well,
no. But that's what I was just saying. I'm not nitpicking. Like a lot of people aren't including maximums. It's not a nitpick on. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's looking at the numbers though. I mean, what do you think of where the 1070 is lying here? I mean, it's coming in. I'm looking at. I got like Rise of the Tomb Raider up here just for an example on DX11 at 1440p. Came in at an average of 80 FPS, right behind the Titan X with 84. So 4 FPS behind that, about 22 FPS behind the GTX 1080. So it's faster than a 980 Ti, and it's going to be around $400 basically. So that's pretty. Yeah, impressive. I mean that's pretty impressive.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I've never knocked the. It's going to be an amazing card for the money, and I'm going to be recommending it. We already went down this road
This is stock speeds, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's what I mean. We went down this road last week. I said everything I wanted to say on it. So. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a good card. It's just I wanted a little bit more from it. That's all.
Yeah, we got. He also did post some overclock numbers. So let me find Rise of the Tomb Raider on here for comparison. I don't think he did Rise of the Tomb Raider. God damn it. Well. Anyway, he did. Let's find something like Doom. Okay, Doom. Oh, he's got all the numbers listed here.
It's interesting.
Doom, on Doom here, we could see the 1070 overclocked did fall behind the 980 Ti when overclocked by quite a substantial margin. So it looks like when the 980 Ti is overclocked, it edges out the 1070. In pretty much all of this testing he's showing here, almost.
But
all
it does. I mean, that does depend though,
Battlefields.
because but you've only got one variant of each GPU too. So I will come in for the 1070's defense there. If he got a relatively poor 1070 that doesn't overclock that well, and he got a relatively good overclocking 980 Ti, then the overclock benchmarks are going to show that. So it kind of depends. So. You have to wait. That's what I mean. When you have to wait until the 1070 is bought up in mass, and then you'll start seeing what the average overclock is. Like I would say on the 980 Ti, the average overclock would be somewhere in between 1.4 and 1.5 gigahertz on air. Like a lot of people, I know a lot of people. I was getting like over 1.4.
Yeah, he did get a substantially higher overclock on the 980 Ti. On the 980 Ti, he had a 25% increase on the overclock on the core, and then on the 1070, it was only a 15% increase in overclock. So, yeah, it looks like you got it on the head there.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, you just, I don't know. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Wait, I hate paper launches. I'm going to say it again. I hate paper launches.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
So you want to move on to Broadwell-E, which was not a paper launch in any way. It was more or less just it's out. Go get it now. So I was like, okay, I'll go get it now, and I got one.
Yeah, so I was actually looking at the 6800K. It looks pretty good, especially that Micro Center deals. I'm so jealous. Like
these are $399 there.
Yeah,
they're 450, like 450 everywhere else, pretty much. I think, or 440.
You've also got those motherboard bundles. I mean, you can get that with an X99 board for 540. That is actually really damn good value for money for a 6-core, like the latest 6-core.
And, and then throw on like another 16 gigabytes of memory. You're talking about just over $600 for almost the full system there.
Yeah, like that combo where I'm at, 800 USD easy. It's like
Yeah.
just so jelly.
That's anywhere. That's really just Micro Center. Like
Yeah.
that's not everywhere in the U.S. that you could find those motherboard balls. They are the only place that does that.
Yeah, true. I'm just
Yeah. Now
mad I wish I had that.
some people were asking me in the chat earlier. I wanted to wait until we got to this discussion here to bring it up because some people were
Yep.
saying, "Oh, Joker, why are you getting 6800K? It's such a slow, it's not a big gain over the 5820K." I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, touche,
Yep.
but I'm going to take the old X99." And that's going to be upgrading my test system. So now I'll be getting rid of that i5 bottleneck that I had in the test system because I was running just an i5 chip. So
Yeah.
now the main test system for testing graphics cards will have an X99 CPU. And my main system, which I'm going to be rebuilding completely from the ground up, is going to have this 6800K. So that's why I got it.
Well, I mean, yeah, the power consumption figures, what I'm seeing out of the new Broadwell chips is pretty impressive, though. That's one area where it does, especially on the 6 cores, you kind of need that when you're overclocking, in the 8 and the 10 core as well and whatnot. But that's one area. And then we've got to talk about the price, right? We've got to talk about the price.
Yeah, a lot of people were pissed off about the price.
I mean, yeah, $1,700. Like, that blew off any estimate that anyone said. I don't think anyone said it would be $1,700.
I remember you were predicting around 1500, right? You were
I
saying that
said it could be around 1,500. It could be, right? I think the best pricing scheme they could have done was 1,200 and then 800 for the 8 core. And I'm sure that wouldn't have pissed off people who had the 5960X for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be like so good for business, I thought. But then, yeah, like I thought, okay, it could be $1,500. But then $1,700, that just surpassed anyone's expectations in a bad way.
I think, yeah, it's essentially, since you're basically paying $800 to overclock there, right?
Yeah, well, that's what we're hearing. You can get the 10 core Xeon like for around about $1,000 or something. It's the same thing. It's just
and we don't even know how well this thing will overclock. It's a 10 core chip. We don't even know how well this thing's going to overclock.
Well, a lot of people are reporting like 4.3 is where it's topping out at. I mean, Paul said he's topped out at 4.3, and Antec, I think, theirs topped out at 4.3. So it's like, okay.
Drake, before I forget, Drake asked about he said, wouldn't the 6850K with the 40 lanes be the best sweet spot? Like, well, yeah, if you're planning to do like 4-way SLI, which I'm not.
Or if you're doing SLI too and you want 2x16 slots, you know what I mean?
Which doesn't really give me any boost in anything. So it's like, the incremental gain there is like nothing. So, like, what's the point?
Yeah, it depends, right?
I'm fine with times 16 times 8, and I'm good with 28 lanes.
It would be interesting though to test two 1080s to the rim with a 6800K versus 6850. That'd be interesting. Like, you know what I mean? 2 8-speed lanes there versus 2 16-speed lanes. That would be pretty crazy.
I don't think I think the difference would be so small that it would be within the margin of error that you couldn't even make a conclusion on it.
Yeah, it would just be interesting to see. That's all, like overclock to the rim. These 1080s.
It would be interesting. Yeah, I would
pushing
definitely
the stratosphere.
Yeah. So one more thing I wanted to mention on this intel here that was pointed out in here by Fudzilla and also Adored. He had a video up earlier today where he was kind of talking about this. Like the pricing on not just the high end, but on the lower end as well. Like with this 6800K, they said previously the i7-5820K was priced at $389. So making the investment to get into the high end desktop, it would have been, slightly costlier than previously required. And 3-core components for a Broadwell-E system is closer to around like $750 compared to around like $600 on the previous generation. So the price went up on these as well, by about $50. So you're going to spend a little bit more to get in on the low end there.
I mean, there should be a little bit in there for inflation, but I don't think inflation's that much, right? So looks like they've cranked it up a little bit on the price there. Kind of not good to see. Like, especially that 6800K. That's the one I'm eyeing off. That's my favorite. Just like the 5820K, I was absolutely loving what Intel was doing with that chip. That was like the one best thing Intel did was the 5820K. And now the 6800K.
And also with this, they only went up by 0.1, only brought it up from 3.3 to 3.4 gigahertz, and then the boost is still the same 3.7. So they didn't even give it an increased boost there.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. Like you're gonna overclock the thing anyway. So
Yeah, you can overclock it anyway, but still,
yeah.
I mean, buying a high-end desktop release from Intel, they should be giving you a little bit more incremental gain than 0.1 gigahertz.
Well, especially if they're charging an incremental price increase too.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. If they're charging that much more, they should give us that much more performance. But
Yeah.
in reality, like this, what is it? It's like a 5% increase in performance on single thread.
Yeah.
Not
That's
much.
it. I mean, like I was talking to my brother. His theory was, yeah, they're just testing the waters. Like, you know, as time goes on, we've seen the divide between, you know, like lower middle class and upper class just stretch out that much more. They're probably just like, okay, let's just test it. How many people will buy this CPU this time around at $1,700? They're just going to give it a test, and that's what I think they're doing. They're just testing the waters.
You know, there
It's
are the
amazing.
people at the high end, the type of people that do buy like Titan X's and stuff like that. They will go out and buy those things in droves.
Yeah, and then of course there's like, you know, I don't know, maybe like high frequency traders or whatever, just people who need the absolute best, and they're just like they don't care. Money is not like a problem for them, you know.
Yep.
They just want time and they need to save every single second. So they'll be like to their subordinate, just go get me this latest rig. Here's 10 grand. Build me something huge. You know, there'll be people out there like that, I'm sure. So that's why I think they're testing the waters with it, even though for us average folk, $1,700 is just, it's crazy, man. It's insane. It's mental.
I've got up
So,
the game. I've got up the gaming performance numbers here from Anantech. Um,
10 core in gaming. Yeah. Okay. Let's not even look at that. But
you
yeah.
linked it, man. You linked it earlier.
sorry. Did I link you the gaming slide? I should have linked you the productivity slide. Like
Is that
that's
the
where
one
it
you wanted to
looks-
go to the single thread?
Yeah.
Well, we're already on the gaming slide. We got to talk. I want to look at Let's look at GTA 5 because I know that game too impacts CPU quite a bit. So let's see like where's it lying in here. They got the 6900K getting 74.3 FPS compared to something like the 6700 or the 4770K. 6700K 74.09 versus 74.33. So you're getting 2/3 of an FPS. Two tenths of an FPS. Sorry.
Well, that's great value right there, man.
It's
Like,
I would say if you're running a 6700K right now, you know, and you're getting, you know, in the neighborhood of 73.03 FPS, and you're just looking to get that little bit more, definitely go pick up a 6950X for
wait, no,
$1,700.
a little bit less. Oh, yeah, based on the actual AMD card came with variants, right? If you look at the AMD card, that pulled ahead by just a little bit.
Yeah, I think
So,
everyone
it's all
needs
in
to get
variants,
everyone
pretty much.
needs 2/10 more of a frame, so that's justifiable to spend the extra, you know, $1,500 on a CPU.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Just go out and
That's what
spend an
it's
extra
that's what it's
1,500.
for. All right, let's bring up the professional performance on Windows, the stuff that actually matters.
Yeah.
All right, we got that. I got that up now. The single threaded Cinebench score. I know you wanted to look at that, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to go over the tabs. Which one was it? Professional performance on Windows? Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. And it's got the
Yeah.
Cinebench single threaded in there.
Single
And
bench, yeah.
yeah. I'll let you take that away. I know you wanted to talk about this.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this results are showing a little bit of a different story. Like when I looked at Paul's review, there was a massive gap between the his 5960X and the was it the 6950X. And so I was like, oh, that's curious. Is that Turbo 3 boost technology? You know what I mean? What's going on there? So I mean, I'd want more. I want to see, like, Paul didn't have enough time. He said he only had like 2 days, and to pull off the review
Yeah.
he did was amazing. But I'd like to see more, like, I'd like to see more insight to that. Hey, that's interesting. That's why I want to get my hands on a 6800K now. I'm like, okay, what real world figures can this thing pull off compared to other CPUs?
Well, I told you,
So-
man. I'm gonna start my own global distribution network for Micro Center, where people just, you know, send me their shopping lists and I just get stuff and then I ship it out to people, so that they can get the same deals as I can.
Yeah, but see, that's what I was talking to you. Shipping's expensive internationally, though. It's crazy.
Yeah, it can
So,
be.
you know, you'd be like, if you get a motherboard and a CPU, that would cost you like $50 to post. There's another $50, and then you got to get import taxes and whatnot. It's like can be a headache. So
Yep. So yeah, the 6950X is looking like an absolute just a beast in
Productivity.
like 4K encoding. Like here, like compared to the 5960X, like massive gains over it in like 4K handbrake renders, which would be highly beneficial to people like us that do like 4K editing. But to the general public, that's really doesn't mean much of anything. If anyone was going to get anything in the gaming space, it would probably be the 6800K, which is why I got the 6800K.
Well, 6800K
Like,
has always been that balance, man. It gives
I got to
you
keep
like
it relevant. It's
yeah.
relevant to people. People actually might go out and buy that and say, should I get the 6700K or should I get this? What's better? Well, it's like, well, if you got a mix of productivity and gaming, probably this.
Well, that being said, you got the 5820K, and people who are on that still don't even have a reason to upgrade. Really, that's what I wanted to find out. 6800K. I mean, it looks like that. So.
Well, you have a reason to upgrade because you sold your 5820K.
Yeah, I just sold it. I was like, yeah, start Unicron. So I mean, I wanted just I don't know. Now that I've kept building these rigs, I just wanted a new project on the main workbench. Every few months, it's just fun.
Speaking of Micro Center, before I forget for like the 5th video in a row, the only reason I went and got that 1080 at Micro Center is because one of the viewers, Alex, over on Twitter, he actually like tipped me off that Micro Center was going to be launching them that day. So I forgot to say thank you to him in the review video. So yeah, that's why I got the 1080.
Oh, awesome.
I did. Alex hooked us up with some info.
Yeah.
Always got my little birds coming to me, telling me stories on Twitter, like Joker, you need to look at this. I'm like, yeah, you're right, I do need to look at this.
Oh yeah, the community's awesome, man. Like I always get told about the Xeon deals. Hey, like check out this Xeon, check out this Xeon. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
tempting.
I've always got like every day I've got people tagging me in news stories like, Joker, do a video on this, do a video on this. I'm like, okay.
Tempting. Xeon,
Well,
it's tempting.
Well, I didn't even see this one. This next one, you showed me this with the Skylake-E processor with that massive
Yeah, this
socket.
is insane, right? I was just like, I noticed this. I'm like, what is going on here? So apparently there's a rumor that Skylake-E is going to be 3,647 pins. So forget 2011. You're going to have
that's
like
almost double.
almost double the pins. Like, what is going on here? So very curious. And like that's legit, man. That's already in the works, right? Look at that thing. Jeez.
Yeah, I want that socket cover like Foxconn. That just looks badass, man.
Well, I mean, you get
industrial.
LEDs. Yeah, I mean, buy LEDs for that thing, you'll be broke, you know?
Oh my god, I swear every single motherboard for Broadwell-E has LEDs on it. I was like, can we just get one motherboard without RGBs on it? That'd be nice.
We just get the socket LED, just have the motherboard sitting there, and then just turn the motherboard on, have the LEDs on.
Dude, I don't even want to upgrade my motherboard because all the new motherboards look so crap.
I did like Asrock. I don't know why. Asrock's Taichi, that board looked okay. The big clock on it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that one looks okay because I was thinking about on my build. I was thinking about using the white logo from Black Mesa. I was thinking about using that. So actually, I did like that board. That was one of the exceptions.
Looked really cool. And plus, it's that budget board as well, that balance board. So I was like double like.
Yeah, that's the part that concerns me because I know with Asrock they start to cut down certain things. It's not like the Asus one I got. I was like comfortable with it being a budget board because it essentially had a lot of all the same components as the high end one. It was just
What do you mean? What do you mean
features.
Asrock cut down? Like they don't really cut down much. Like not on X99, they haven't cut down really anything.
Don't they give you like worse audio and all that stuff? Like
not on the Extreme 4, like
that's what I remember on the previous ones when I was looking at them was like the audio drivers. I was looking at the Realtek ones. It was like these are not good audio drivers at all.
Okay, well Realtek's the main. Like Asus uses a rehashed Realtek, I think. So Realtek's like a standard on the.
Well, it was. I remember when I looked, it was a specific version of Realtek because there was some different versions, and there was ones on MSI that people said were bad, and then there was ones on the Asrock ones people said they didn't like. It wasn't all of them because I know some of them they used the fatality stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I had the 1150 Realtek. That was pretty good. Like that was solid. I mean, it depends on the amps that they're using on there. Like the Asrock mic imports were the best out of any motherboard I'd tested so far. I mean, I thought MSI's audio out was really good as well. I thought they had some of the best audio out. Then Gigabytes almost made my ears bleed, man. Like it was just distortion. That's what I found.
I will agree with Mr. Epic that the one I did look at was the X99A Carbon. I think that looks nice as long as the lighting is disabled. But it looks good without the lighting, actually. It looks quite nice. And the effect of like the little things on there from the lights actually kind of look cool with them off. So yeah. I was like, that's not too bad. But yeah, this socket for Skylake-E is massive, though. Is basically what it comes away from, and a lot of pins.
Yeah, I think that thing's going to be huge. I mean, what the hell? That socket is insane. Like it really is.
So everyone get ready to upgrade for 5% gains again this time next year. But on a bigger scale. This one might actually be a substantial gain. We'll see.
Yeah.
You think they're
So,
going to do more cores? You think they're going to start to move to like 18 cores or something on there?
well, they've already got 20.
The,
They've already got 22 core CPUs out. So yeah,
they're. I mean, they're
that's
like you said, they're testing the waters on the 10 core. So next year, maybe they test the waters with like a 20 core for $2,000.
I don't know. It'd be more than that. Like if you're going with that scaling, it'd be like 5,000 for a 20 core overclockable.
Jesus.
No, but I mean, I'd say that they'd probably want to go with a 12 core now that's overclockable. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
We've seen this
where they would
trend.
go next. They'd go 12 next.
Yeah. So we've seen that trend, and whether they can pull it off or not, I don't know.
Yep.
So, all right. So we've got Bristol Ridge and Stony Ridge and APUs and discussions. So they launched their.
I know you're excited.
Generation. I want to see these things in laptops. I think that's where you're really going to benefit out of a new age APU, especially if it's going on 14 nanometer. You know what I mean? So that's where I think.
PlayStation Neo.
Well, okay, yeah, all right, dude. Don't talk consoles to me.
Dude, but they're saying these APUs can do 4K, man.
Really? They can do like 4K. Okay, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, you could watch movies and look at pictures in 4K.
Oh, okay, yeah. You can watch movies and look at pictures in 4K. Yeah, that's cool.
Yep. I think what they're trying to get is basically it's going to have full HEVC 4K hardware codec support. And the reason I know that is because I just read the sentence right here that says it. That's how I know this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. It's funny because there's a lot of people that are excited for APUs. I've just personally never been an APU sort of guy. That's sort of one way to say. I mean, I've never really used them. I've never really recommended them for gaming enthusiasts either. Like, even though I know they can be good, it's just for me. I've always found that a really budget CPU and a really budget graphics card can outperform an APU. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
At the single thread, they seem to work. They seem to be more suited towards, AIO systems, laptops, and things like that. But they keep on insisting that people cram them into desktops.
yeah. So I mean, I'm like, I want to see how it goes in a laptop. I really would like to see how it goes in.
They
a
do
laptop.
have a laptop there in the picture, in the marketing picture, so they are showing a laptop, but the desktop too.
Yeah, the desktop I'm kind of not really keen on. So
If it's affordable laptops, like $500 laptops, then I'd be all for it. I'd be like, yeah, let's see what this thing can do, playing some games at like 900p. But if they're talking about throwing it in like a $1,000-$1,500 gaming laptop, then I'm like, nah. I'll just get something. I'll wait for something with Polaris 11 then. At that point, if it's AMD.
yeah.
But I think maybe they might be gearing up to use these in the new consoles potentially if they're staying with the APUs. I hope they don't though. I really would like to see the new Xbox coming out and the new PlayStation Neo to actually get a dedicated GPU in there. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be huge. I mean, at $200, like if they're bringing out that tech now, could be a possibility, right? So
there you go.
See, that could probably do just 4K on a dedicated API. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, they need to stick the RX 480 inside the next generation consoles and charge $600 for it, and just
Well, they could probably get away with 400 if they made a smart design. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if they a really smart design, and make no money on the consoles again, which is what they always do anyway.
So interesting.
So, moving on from the APU, I actually do have something interesting here.
Yeah.
The Guru 3D got the MSI Twin Frozer card in, and they tested it. This one has a 6+8, an 8-pin and a 6-pin power delivery, so it's getting an extra 75 watts on there of power. So I was curious to see how they'd be able to overclock this thing, especially compared to my 1080. Now that they've got an aftermarket cooler on there, they've got more power delivery. What kind of overclock could they get on this thing? Yeah. And they said the boost clock was able to get up to roughly 1950 to 2067 megahertz. And they said most of the time it was actually dipping down below 2 gigahertz, and it would max out at like 2.1 gigahertz, which is almost like exactly what I was seeing. Sometimes I would go up to like 2125, but most of the time I was running around 2050. They said most of the time theirs was running at just under 2000. So it seems like mine is at least the same or better than this MSI one, and I don't even have the extra power delivery on it. So how much more of a difference is it actually making here?
Yeah, well, you're probably seeing the actual limitations on overclocking on air. So that seems to be around 2 gigs to 2.1. So that's looking like that where these graphics cards will finish, run through the finish line. So interesting, though. Interesting. It does look cool.
This runs quieter, though. This would be quieter for sure.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to getting one that's a lot cheaper than a Founders Edition, and it cools a lot better and it's a lot quieter. You know, because how loud is that thing really? Like it gets pretty loud when you got to set in your custom fan profiles and you're actually gaming
Well,
for a while. Yeah.
no, I mean when I'm gaming, I'm gaming.
Mm.
I'm not listening for fans. I'm wearing headphones. I can't hear anything. It's like
But you got
I
closed back though. Not everyone can wear closed back headphones.
I have my Fishers which are open back and I still can't hear it.
Really?
No, not when I'm gaming and the game's actually making noise.
Okay.
I was looking at the 3D Mark score here. They showed overclocked on Guru 3D. They're over. I can't go any lower here and show this, but their overclocked graphics score was 23,903. So I was comparing. Mine was 23,855. So
You're
it's
right.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Smack
almost the
bang.
same. It's like pretty much identical there.
Smack bang. Yeah, on the same page. That's interesting.
Yep. So not much difference there. Throwing on extra power delivery and extra cooling. So I don't know if that's the actual limitation. If maybe the extra power delivery is not making that much of a difference.
Probably isn't.
So that's like just 1080pville, huh? Not 1080p. I mean it's 1080. It's typical for the 1080 here. Just constant disappointments.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not a disappointment. The card's a big card, so
It
especially
is.
when
It
it comes.
is.
I mean, at $600, it's a good buy. You know, at $600, it will be a pretty good buy.
At 600,
So,
yeah. Not at
yeah.
not at the 700 that the suckers edition.
Yeah, suckers edition. That's a good way to say it. The you got done. Yeah, CEO boat money edition.
Pretty much. So, all right, this next thing is really cool. This is from Computex, man. Asus showed off a prototype for a 4K 144 hertz monitor. Oh yeah.
Wow, like this is actually really big news, right? We didn't think this was coming for a while, but here it is, the prototype. 4K 144 hertz. Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow.
DisplayPort 1.3. So that's we were limited on 1.2, but all of these new cards coming out and even the new motherboards coming out are shipping with 1.3 and 1.4 support. So it was only a matter of time before we saw the monitors coming out and seeing an update to G-Sync to support those, the new DisplayPort standards. They didn't say if this has G-Sync in it yet or not, but I'm assuming they're going to be working on that.
There'll be something in there, yeah. G-Sync and FreeSync.
Yeah,
Pretty much the norm.
I see green logos there, like on the thing with the Doom thing. So I'm assuming that says NVIDIA somewhere on it with an eyeball. So yeah, G-Sync confirmed.
G-Sync confirmed. Yeah, well, there is that. See on the right side, there's like that green thing sticking out there. That's
And I think they also had 1440p at 240 hertz.
Oh man, that is just way overkill.
People's eyeballs are going to be like, people are going to be going blind or something like that. Like, why are people going blind? Like, well, they're seeing too many frames. The man just saw too many frames. Like this guy, like right here, like 4 240 hertz monitors just stacked up. Like, GG, bro. GG. It's too bad they are Asus and TN panels, which probably means they're not good. I mean, let's be honest. They are Asus and they are TN, so they're probably absolute bunk. So let's just get through. We need to get through Gen 1, where they'll be total crap, and then we'll get to the IPS 4K 144 hertz that are worth buying. So we got to go through this whole cycle again of broken.
I mean,
panels
IPS at 240 hertz though. Damn, man, that's got to be pushing it.
Oh no, the 240 hertz can be whatever. I'm talking about the 4K 144 hertz. That needs to be IPS.
Yeah, but even then, that's like 4K, that pixel density. You know what I mean? That's
took care of one.
Damn, that'd be a feat, man. So I don't know. Hopefully these boys can pull it off though. But we got TN coming. TN.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Asus's TN panels are awful, man. They're just like they're yellow. It looks like a cat pissed on them.
Yeah, I mean, I love Asus TN panels. Like, I've got 2 Asus TN panels here, and one's been from back in 2008. This is the one I'm using to read the articles off for the stream.
My old Asus TN panel was good, but when I got it on the Swift, it was horrible. So I don't.
You probably just got a bad sample, but you
I had a few of them.
Bad batch.
And then everyone online was reporting the same things in droves. Everyone.
You know when you're arguing on a forum, you're like, just a bad sample, and you say, "I got a few bad batch."
Bad
Next
batch.
excuse.
You got just a bad year, man. Just a bad year for Ace. Just a bad year. Sorry.
Just keep
Better luck next year.
And then you say like, "Well, dude, it's been going on for a couple of years. Bad life. GG."
It's that anti-glare coating and they put on it. It's like when you look at it at any different angles, it looks yellow. It literally looks yellow. That's how they look. And there's no, and like even the people that were like, "Oh, I got mine. Mine's fine." I was like, "Yeah, did it not come with the anti-glare coating on it? Then it's not fine.
Yeah,
it's not fine. There's nothing fine about it."
Quantum Break. Do you want to take
Quantum
this
Break? FreeSync and G-Sync support finally. UWPGG.
Have you played this game?
I haven't played it yet. I want to play it. I'm going to play it after I do my new system build because I got a new SSD coming. Which they got them on the Kingston Savage SSDs, the 480 gigs for $125. So
$125 for 480.
Yeah, for the HyperX Savage ones, the really fast SSDs.
Where's this?
Amazon.
Wow, can I actually order one on your behalf and I'll pick it up when I come to the States?
You can just if you want.
That's insane. That's really good.
Yeah, I think it's still up. Let me take a look.
$120 for 480 gigs of SSD. Damn. Get me that deal.
Yep, there it is. They got the 240 gig SSDs are $88 and the 480 gigs are $125.
That's really good for a 480. Wow.
Yeah, the 960s are the 960 gigabytes are $300. So even that's a pretty good deal, but you'd be better off just getting two 480s and slapping them together.
Slap to a RAID 0 on those bad boys.
Yeah, so the reason I was saying that is I got one of those in, so I'm gonna actually install Windows 10 on it for the boot drive on my new system.
Okay.
I'm still gonna keep around this drive with Windows 8 just in cases and so that I can recall my old files and stuff, but I'm going to initially install Windows 10 on this as a fresh install and go from there, and so I can test like Quantum Break and all the other DX12 titles on my 1080.
Quantum Break. Okay, so yeah, Quantum Break. It's fixing some stuff. You can play it on older CPUs. How well it will play on older CPUs remains yet to be seen, but good news, I guess. Good news.
And hurry up and order that SSD, Brian, because I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out after this.
The stream, everyone on the stream is just going to go get one of like, hey.
Hang on. Let me get them an affiliate link for the SSD so I can show them what we're talking about, just for reference. There's the link to the Savage SSD 480 gig. I've been wanting to get one of these since Land Syndicate because Kyle had one, and I had to download. There was a game we were going to play together. And I was like, I wanted to get the files, but the network there was pretty slow at the LAN. So he was like, "Oh, I've got it on my SSD." So he had the Hyper Savage SSD with like the USB 3 kit. Plug that thing in. I got like 20 gigs off of this SSD before I could blink. I was like, wow, that was fast, man. The thing with transferring at like 350 megabytes per second, it was quick.
That's
and it was
huge.
constant. It
off
didn't
a USB
like
3, yeah.
It didn't like it was constant. It didn't slow down. It was like, dude, that is like the most consistent SSD I've ever used for speed wise.
Yeah, that was amazing. You were just blown away, were you?
I transfer stuff on my system here, SSD to SSD, and it slows down slower than that. So, like on the 850 Evos, so I need one of those bad boys. Yeah. And then I could test this Quantum Break with G-Sync and FreeSync support. Well, G-Sync anyway.
With your SSD, right?
With the SSD.
Yep. Okay, Starbreeze. Let's move on there. Starbreeze.
Yes. Starbreeze, the people behind that make the Payday games, also they got the VR thing we were talking about recently with Acer. So they have decided to go ahead and buy out the rights to Payday from the publisher 505 Games, and this is a really good thing because they're very passionate about the game, and they have had to do some things in the past with the game that they didn't really want to do because of the publishers, like adding in microtransactions. So today, after acquiring it, the first thing they went out and did was say, no more microtransactions. They're done with. Everyone has access to the black market now on Payday 2, which is like, hooray for everyone. Payday 2 is great again without the microtransaction BS.
Yeah. Praise Starbreeze.
Seems like that. Praise Gaben, even though he has nothing to do with this.
Exactly. Praise Gaben.
PC Master Race.
So, yeah, I like it how they're putting a stance down, no microtransactions. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
So, they're listening to the community. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, but I'm glad that they own it's their license, man. It's their game that they put their blood, sweat, and tears into, and they should own the rights to it, not some publisher who just paid for it. So basically all they do is they pay for it. I don't feel like they should get the rights to the creative side of it. Like, yeah, you can get the rights to like own certain things, but not the creativity of it. Like, they made that's theirs, so they own it now. At least for paying it. So the next story is actually not much of a story at all. When I saw this go up, I was like, oh, we'll put this on here because Deus Ex is getting a gameplay demo. I was like, sweet, a demo. We don't get many of those.
But you could say 505 Games got a Payday, right?
You could say that they did get a pay. They did get a payday.
Okay.
That was good. You went there.
Yeah.
So I saw this. Like, I thought Deus Ex: Mankind Divided was getting a gameplay demo that we would actually be able to play, but no, they're just going to be showing us gameplay next week. So, hooray!
Yeah, we're just getting shown gameplay. Do you reckon it'll be like really good gameplay footage and then they'll nerf it?
I don't know, man. I'm worried about this game from Squeenix, man. Squeenix has been doing some questionable things. I don't like how they sectioned off the Hitman game, and I'm concerned with Mankind Divided because they had initially, like, they were like doing some really sketchy stuff, like trying to amp up like the pre-orders by giving like tiered pre-order levels and stuff. It was so stupid. So they got me worried about this game.
Well, I'm waiting for that Final Fantasy VII remake. Like, I want to buy a game on my PlayStation 4. Like, actually buy a game for it. So.
Well, I really liked the last one. I really liked Human Revolution, so I want to play Mankind Divided. I hope it's good. Deus Ex is one of my favorite franchises, going back to the original. Not including Invisible Wars. Invisible Wars was awful.
Yeah, you speak highly of the franchise. One day when I have this magical thing called time, I'd love to explore Deus Ex.
Just skip Invisible Wars though, and I'm sure the chat might be split on that. Old school.
Or you could call it.
Some people like Invisible Wars, but most people I talked to hated it.
Or you could call it Deus Ex.
No, Deus.
Deus
You could call it Deus Ex, but you'd be saying it wrong.
Yeah.
So you could do that. I could also call milk, but I'd be saying it wrong. So I don't do that.
But you're saying in Australia we call it milk. Hey, can you put some milk in my tea, dude? People be like, who are you? Like, where did this thing come from? Milk.
I need some Milac, bro.
I need some.
I want some milk right now. I'm thirsty, man.
Okay,
must be from all this salt.
Yeah. Right, anyway, so we got Doom surpasses 500,000 sales on the PC, which is huge, right? That's a big sale for PCs.
That's a lot.
It shows you, man, our little friend, the PC, is gaining traction. That's all this means. A lot of people are coming over to PC gaming, and sales are doing really well, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's big. That's 500K would be pretty big sales figures for any platform. It's nice to see it on the PC. I would like to have something to compare it to see what the console sale figures are, but unfortunately we don't know like the total sales figures for Doom, so we can't estimate what percentage of the sales are PC. But if the other ones are matching that, and we're matching the consoles, that's pretty good. If the consoles are doing more than that, which I think a lot of people would probably expect, then that's just huge numbers for Doom in general. I mean, they're got to be talking about at least 1 million copies sold. So that's
you see that?
Successful.
It's live earthquake.
Live earthquake. Where?
Yeah, it's not too bad over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little one.
Okay.
So, so sorry.
I got this the motherboard up now. The one we were talking about earlier that you wanted to talk about.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say with Doom, I'm going to be another sale for that, but I'm just waiting for it to have that. It has that initial massive sale and then it comes down in price. Otherwise, we'll just wait for that now. Probably be another month or what.
That's the only way I could show the whole motherboard because I can't scroll down this page anymore, so I have to make it really small.
Okay, so we got the Taichi. Yeah, I saw these motherboards. I'm like, wow, Asrock have finally done it. They're changing up the naming scheme. They're going with a whole new look. They've gotten rid of those hideous clips on the memory that are different color tones. This thing looks cool. I like the mechanical sort of clockwork.
Yeah.
Paint job they've done there. That looks really cool.
Would you remove those though and throw them in the garbage?
Remove what? You can't remove the paint. That'd be impossible, man. Like, well, it wouldn't be impossible, but it's just like
no. I mean I mean on like the VRMs and stuff, like the those things.
Oh, the little bad, the X99, I'd take off. Yeah, I'd take that if that's
and the Asrock Fatality.
I don't know if that's engraved or if that's badges. If the X99 was badges, I'd rip that off, and same with the Asrock. I'd rip that off. I'd just take that off. Those two
I
things.
like the on the side though, the shroud cover on the side with the Intel logo. I think that looks really cool.
Those
I
look
like,
pretty good.
and the creative logo too. That looks pretty sweet on there as well. I like that.
I mean, in general, I'm not a fan of logos though. Like, I gotta redo my review of this keyboard because
I like those ones there. Those ones. I
like,
think the Intel and the creative
see,
logo looks really cool.
it's like a logo plastered there. I've just never been a fan of logos. That's all. Like, I've always liked the clean look.
Yeah, I actually want to mod that Savage X SSD because the N2 Evolve has a mounting slot on the side where you can put your SSDs and it shows through the window. But the whole build is going to be like a black build, so it would be kind of weird to have a red SSD sitting there. So I'm gonna look into painting that thing.
Yeah.
But it's part of it's engraved, so I don't know how it's going to adhere. But I'm gonna try.
The Fatality. I mean, the Fatality looks clean as well. It's just the heat sinks on the Fatality. A little bit of a miss. Like, I just think they should have just went with a simple all black look. That would have been.
At least it doesn't have RGBs. Well, maybe it does on the left side there.
You
that
never know.
Looks like that does look kind of like it could be RGBs right there.
You don't know. You don't know. All right. So what do we got next? Nothing.
Wait, well, I'm going to show the one that looks like it has a moon base on it with the clockwork. It kind of looks like.
The Taichi. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was talking about the Taichi before.
I was looking at the other one, the black and red one. This one's all white, black and white, I should say. It's got like a clock on it. Looks really cool. Almost kind of like almost like a Steam logo, kind of like a. I don't know,
that's the one I was like. That's the one I was really digging.
Base.
Yeah, the
Taichi. That one looks hot. This one I like a lot.
That's what I was saying. I think we got them switched around.
Yeah, I guess we were looking at different boards at the same time. My bad.
Yeah.
I was looking at the other Asrock board, the red one. But this one looks sexy. I like all of this board. I like. No. The clock is a little bit much, but
it's new. That's all. It's new, and like it could be cool. It's different. I mean, it won't like a lot of people won't like it though. But I don't know. For me, it's kind of like cool. It's something different. I wouldn't mind having that in my life. You know what I mean?
I like it without the clock. I mean, everything else is good. I like the white shroud here. It looks all good. Very sexy.
Yeah.
That was our last main topic. So we're gonna go into Q&A now. I guess so. While we're waiting for Q&A, I mentioned last week anyone if they got any shirts to go ahead and tweet them out to us. So 2 people actually, in the last 24 hours went ahead and sent me pictures of them getting shirts. We got right here, which is not loading. Pezmerga, he sent one in, which I don't know why the picture's not loading, but you can see it there. And then we got this other one here from this other guy, which is also not loading. What the fuck? Nothing is loading.
That's okay. You're forgiven.
I think Twitter is dead.
Okay, well, you guys can just fire those
dead.
questions away. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm like. I saw it quickly there. I saw it quickly.
It was there. Twitter's like is being gay. I don't know. I just can't open Twitter. I can't open any Twitter pages.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Like I'm actually seeing a quick flash shot of it, like on the stream playback. So it's there.
I'm sure that you are, but I cannot open Twitter on Firefox right now. I can get it open on my.
See,
on Chrome.
dude, you need to use Edge, brother. That's what I'm saying.
I had to open it up on Chrome. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. All right, we got Pezmerga. He sent one in. He's got the Make AMD Great Again shirt. Cheers, man. And
you just need to.
And this was Jaded was the first. Jaded was the first one ever to send one in, so he was first. So he gets the rights to say first. So GG
Okay.
Jaded. Nice one.
Well, you need to get on Edge, dude. What are you doing?
And he's also got some pizza there. I want some pizza now. Man, this pizza's got crust all the way around the slice. Oh my god, I want this.
Okay,
Oh
all right.
my
Well,
God. Crust
I
slice. That's
like
amazing.
cheese in my crust. That stuff's pretty good.
I like cheese. Not in my crust though. There's enough cheese in the rest of the slice.
Well, I like cheese in my crust.
Oh yeah, and I've also got
So-
Alex's system here. He got the 1080 man. His system is clean. He's got the EK 240 there in the Fractal Define S. This is the person that recommended to me to go to Micro Center to get the 1080, and he sent me a picture of his system, and I was like, dude, that is clean AF, and I like clean AF systems. So
Plain AF.
if you've got a system that's clean AF, you could send it to me on Twitter, and then I'll put it on.
Hashtag clean AF.
Yeah. You got to send it to me on Twitter, and then hashtag it with clean AF builds.
Yeah.
And if it's a truly clean AF builds, we'll include it next week on TGW in an all new segment called Clean AF Builds.
Yeah, clean
There you
AF. That's
go.
actually I like it. Yeah, clean
Here-
AF.
Yeah, we're going the clean AF builds.
That
The
is
first,
clean AF. Yeah,
there you go.
that's
This is the inaugural build here on clean AF builds is from Alex. There you go. He's got the clean AF system with the 1080 and Dominator Platinum RAM and white trimmings. It looks very sexy and attractive.
actually yeah. That's
I want to lick
Alex.
it.
That is clean AF, brother. That is.
And dude, look at those. Look at the EK tubing and the fittings on there. That is like what sold me there. I was like, I need that in my life.
Cable management's great too. Like the actual, he's got the combs there. That's really clean.
Yeah,
So,
clean AF builds.
that's it, man. Clean AF. Love it. All right, we got a question here. £40 for a 240 gigabyte SSD, a good deal? Hell yeah, that's pretty good. Considering there's markups in the UK, yeah. I'd get that in my life. What do we got?
Oh yeah, and if you want the shirt, there's a link below for the shirt also. By the way, we were talking about the
Sorry,
shirt.
I just got here. What do you
The
think of
shirt.
Polaris? Yeah, we thought it's pretty good overall. Generally pretty good. $199. I mean, there's not much to complain about there. What's that shirt I'm wearing? I'm wearing a black shirt, and it's pretty cold this morning. Like I woke up early and I was freezing. I was like, "What the hell's going on?" So I put this whatever it is sweater on, or I don't know anything about fashion. Do not talk to me about fashion. I don't know anything. I know a little bit about suits, but that's about it, you know. Like casual wear, hell, I'll go outside with my pajamas on. I really don't care about fashion. Hey, am I getting a 480? Definitely now. I'll be definitely getting a 480. I mean now, like, because Intel's going to sponsor out that Intel Rig Challenge for PAX Prime, so they're taking me over to America where I'm going to hit up Microcenter. I'm going to raid that place. Like I'm going to get a 1070 now, I think, a 1080, AMD. That's my alarm. And I'm going to get. See, this is what I love about a headset. You know, I can be off stream and be like, "Yeah, what's up, guys?" And get a new motherboard.
And we got to see your boxer shorts.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. All right, we'll get an X99 motherboard and 6800K. Like, I'm going to hit up a heap of tech when I'm over there, so I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
So are you officially saying that Micro Center is better than Best Buy?
Yeah.
I showed Brian Micro Center earlier, and he was perusing the Intel chips, and he was like, "Holy shit, man! Like these motherboard bundles are insane." It is.
Yeah.
It's not even right. And then when you go there, there's even more. It's actually every single motherboard. So when you go there, I've got one of the papers right here somewhere. It's got every single CPU listed with the price, which is like about 20% less than anywhere else on the market. And then next to it, it has every single motherboard. And if you get any of the CPUs, you can get it with any of those motherboards at the reduced rate. And like the majority of them is like, oh yeah, this motherboard's like $20, $30, $40. Like that's where they start at on the low end. Like you're paying like $20 for a motherboard along with the processor.
Yeah.
It's some of them nothing. The motherboard I got with my brother's PC was free.
Okay. Well, well, there you go, man. Like you're gonna be home and hosed. So with the Micro Center close, you got it close by too, like 20 minutes, yeah.
What, Best Buy?
No, I mean Micro Center.
Oh no, it's like an hour and 10 minutes away. It's far.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, that's why I was telling you earlier. Like, it's like if you want me to go, you gotta like really need me to go because it's not like just popping out to the store.
Yeah, but Best Buy is.
Yeah, Best Buy is right around.
So Best Buy's got your back if you're desperate.
Yeah, Best Buy's got my back. That is basically if I am really desperate and I need something, I will go to Best Buy. That is when I go there.
Or if you're just bored, right? You just want to have a peruse, like you just
No. No, I usually peruse on the website, and it's usually if like I want something, and I'm like, okay, I can get this in 2 days with free shipping from Amazon, or I could pay $5 more and get it from Best Buy today. I'm just like, I'll just go to Best Buy and get it today. That's like I just look at it like I paid $5 for same day shipping. That's how I look at it.
I got cool. Well, we got asked Joe Tiago. Is that Tiago Tunes?
I don't know.
Oh, Joe Tiago. He says it's my birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Okay,
He
nice.
said he's asking if you should get 1070 SLI or single GTX 1080 because the GTX 1080 is very expensive. I would go with just wait like a couple of weeks if you could. Just wait a week. Even I don't know. It's rumored to be a week or 2 weeks. Those MSRP prices will be hitting the streets, like the aftermarket cards. I would wait and get one of those, the GTX 1080. That would be my recommendation.
I think
would
the
you say?
1070 I think the 1070 is going to be a really good budget card. It's going to get less frames than the 1080, sure, but you really have to ask yourself, like, what are you going to be playing? You're going to be gaming at 4K.
Yeah,
You're going to be
but
gaming
he's
at 1440,
asking,
144
but he's
hertz
asking
ultra
if
wide.
you get 1070 SLI or a single 1080.
I
Like he's obviously got that budget.
okay,
to
I
get.
know. I know. Well, I would have to answer his question with a question by asking him what resolution is he looking to play at, because that's going to affect what I would say about that.
Okay. A question with a question.
Because
not bad.
I would probably more than likely want to tell him to just get a 1070
Yeah.
and then see if he's happy with his performance. Unless he
That's
knows
true.
unless he comes out and is like, yeah, I want to do 4K gaming. That's all I want to do is 4K gaming. Then I would just say, get a 1080.
Very true, actually. Yeah, Joker makes a very valid point. Since you did say the 1080 is very expensive, you are sort of hinting at you've got a limited budget. So, yeah, I mean, I'd wait a little bit though. Definitely, like I wouldn't buy a founder's card. That's just my recommendation.
Yeah, like if you're looking to do like 1440 gaming, that's why I would. Then if that was the case, I would probably say, just get a 1070 and see how you feel about your performance, and then go from there. And then maybe pick up a second one down the road. But if you're just playing at 1440, I don't think you really need a 1080, unless unless you are set on saying, okay, I would just want to do the single GPU solution and save yourself the headache, which is definitely a good reason to do that. It is a lot less of a headache having a single card. You don't have to worry about it.
Well, that's what I mean. I've always been a fan of single cards. Always, like ever since the dual AMD ATI 47 something X2 or whatever. Like headaches, man, headaches. I said, never doing this again. Like my friends were like, never doing this again. It's just terrible. So yeah, some X2. It was ages ago, man. But anyway. And then the car died. The car just died one day too. Anyway, we got i5 4690K giving CPU stuttering and CPU bound games like Witcher 3 and GTA 5. Time to get a 4790K. I mean, it depends what overclocks you've got. I mean, if you're not really overclocking it, I'd suggest giving it a real good, charge up there first. Try and get it to 4.6 if you can. Really take that thing as high as it can go, because I had the 6600K in recently playing GTA 5 with an R9 390 and a 970 and even the 980 Ti, and it was awesome. Like, it was awesome experience. There was no stuttering at all. And that was, it's a little bit better, but 4690K is still a boogie.
I have a question for Q&A actually for you that I know you can answer because it's about Xeons.
Okay.
So, what are the QS series of Xeons? What are those? QS.
Aren't they the engineering samples or the old?
I don't know. Well, they've got the 3930K QS.
Yeah, that'd be engineering sample, I think.
So they've
quality
got
quality sample, yeah.
I was on. You think I was quality sample? Okay, so that makes sense. So
I don't know. I gotta double check that. I'm pretty sure QS is engineering sample. But.
Well, I was on eBay earlier. They had the 3930K QS. They were like $130 for the 6-core 12-thread 3930K.
Okay, yeah, just good. Yeah, QS is ES. Yeah, same thing, pretty much.
So would that be anything to be concerned about? I mean,
no. I mean, I had an engineering
3930Ks
sample
for like $130 is like fucking. That's dirt cheap.
Well, that's what I mean. I had a 3930K engineering sample. I sold it because I've still got to test this thing, man. The E5 1650. I still got to test that. This is our time. Like, I've just been dealing with a lot of stuff IRL as well. Like I've had a rough. Like the last month has been rough. For me, IRL stuff. So.
Yeah. I got it up here, the processor.
But yeah. So what other questions will Zen support hyper? It's got their own sort of, like they've said that it's got their own sort of hyper threading based technology. We don't know exactly what it is yet. Don't know what are they calling it. Like. AMD threading or something, but yeah, it's going to support like hyper threading. That's what they've already confirmed that.
Yeah.
Okay, should upgrade from two 980s to a 1080? That'd be a good question for you, man, because you've got the hands on with the 1080, and you've had 980s. Yeah. Should he upgrade from two 980s to a 1080? That's a question for you.
I don't know. I would have to say again, like what resolution are you playing at? Because I think the two 980s are more than efficient enough for 1440. But if you're thinking about making the jump to 4K, then I think a 1080 is a better card. It's really about the resolution, what you're playing at, because 980s are still even beating it in 4K in testing and like the benchmarks. But I would rather have a 1080 to have, the better, like everything else. Like more,
Or if you're bored, or if you got money to burn.
yeah, if you got money to burn, yeah. If you really got money to burn, otherwise I would
Shit, that
probably
is,
say
yeah.
no. Just two 980s and SLI beat out
This is
a
the thing,
1080
right?
a 1080 in benchmarks. So
But this is the thing, you get that 1080, then you can just put it in your SIG, got a 1080 now, guys, or you just tell the world, just run outside, go for a jog, and then just scream at the middle of the park, I've got a GTX 1080. That's what you can do. That gives you that right to do that. Have you done that yet?
done what?
Like, went to the middle of a park and just screamed out, I've got a GTX 1080?
No, I can't say that I
Okay.
have.
Well,
I did. The
you've got
first day
those
that the first day that I got it though, I did walk around the house showing it to people.
What was their reaction?
They're just like, I don't even know what that is.
Actually, that's a great video idea. Hey, like I'm gonna when I get back to Oz, I'll do that. Hey, I'll just walk around the shopping center and be like, "Do you know what this is?"
This is the world's fastest single GPU
Yeah,
solution.
gaming graphics card. People look at you like, dude, like
This is the founders edition. They call it that because they found it.
This is the founder.
You know what? They call it that because they found out how to screw everyone over for an extra $100.
Well, they should have renamed it the Upgrade Jen's Boat Edition.
I wonder, like, how many sake shots they had when they were sitting around laughing their asses off. Like, guys, we're gonna put out this. Like, someone needs to do a video of that. There's a video of the Spanish guy who's laughing hysterically. They need to do one of that where he's the Nvidia guy saying how much more they're gonna charge for the Founders Edition and laughing his ass off as he pitches it to people. Somebody needs to do an upgrade to that video. They do it every time something like this happens, and I think the Nvidia Founders Edition is ripe for the picking on that.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
make it happen.
All right, so what are we going to close up soon?
Oh, yeah,
wait. I'd like to wait, one more question. I'd like to get game at high FPS. Worth upgrading from a GTX 970 to a 1070 for 1080p gaming, or should I wait to see the 480X performance?
Stay on 970, 1080p gaming.
Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you could really just tweak the settings as well. Like, it depends. You sound like Rohit sounds like he's pretty patient as well. Doesn't sound like there's a lot of urgency there. I'd definitely wait a little bit, and I'd definitely wait for the 1070 to get off that Founders Edition stuff,
Yep.
and get back to like the proper MSRP. But when it goes down that proper MSRP, maybe, I mean, if you got cash to burn and you need those really high frame rates and you just have to have ultra settings, then sure. But you got to remember as well, at 1080p, your CPU is going to be much more important as well if you want to get high FPS. So don't forget about that.
Yep. All right. So before we get out of here, we got to do Thrones Talk, man. We only got a few minutes left, so we got to do Thrones Talk before we get out of here. So.
Damn, man. I really don't have much time. Like,
Well,
maybe we can save it next week. We'll do a double.
No, we can't. No, we can't skip it this week. We got to talk about Thrones, man. Samuel Tarly.
No, I've got to go, dude. I don't want to get fired. Okay, we'll talk about
every week. This guy missing Thrones Talk. People look forward all week to Thrones Talk. And
But someone raised a good point. We're not like movie critics, man. We absolutely suck at it. Like, we shouldn't be talking. Like,
I don't care.
All I can say is it's awesome. I'm loving it. That's all. I'm loving it, and that's no spoilers. I'm just loving it.
I like talking about Game of Thrones.
Okay. Anyway, I gotta get going. So we'll talk about it next week.
We gotta get out of here. All right, we gotta get out of here. Brian's got to go to work next week. Yep. Official 1 year anniversary for TGW. Hype. Get hyped for it. We're gonna announce the giveaway winners. All that stuff. Thanks again to Slant.co, our sponsor for this week's episode.
Yep. Thank you
guys. Make sure to check them out. Links in the description and everything.
Great discussion website there. Really cool. I like it. I actually like in the gaming section too a lot. I'm going to be checking that out more. Good topics there. So,
GG to Slant and GG to all of you. Ta-da.
Yeah, and thank you guys for tuning in this week, and we hope to see you next week. Have an awesome week, everyone, and peace.
Brian, you make that sound so fluid and smooth.
Oh yeah.
I just want to come over there and give you a shoulder rub.